Well, this comes to the end of the series of questions that have been posed about our opinions on bullying and harassment at cons and cosplay. And the last thing that Hoshi asks of us is what our personal thoughts and views are. I don't think there is any world or any universe where harassment of another individual, regardless of why you're harassing them or bullying them, is ever right. It is always dead flat wrong. Because if there was any sort of constructive message that came at the beginning of your tyrant of harassment or bullying, it lost all validity when it became mean and it started hurting another individual. And if you're one of those people that go, well, it doesn't, bullying, I don't hurt people. Harassment doesn't hurt people. You've been living under a rock for a long time. There's enough peer-reviewed journal research to show that bullying and harassment, whether it is verbal, emotional, physical, or sexual, causes severe emotional and mental harm to the victim. This again causes severe emotional and mental harm to the victim. Those that survive, and a lot of us do, survive with defense mechanisms that we put in place to protect ourselves from those people that bully us and harass us so that we can survive. Unfortunately, there is a significant number of people that are harassed and bullied that have psychotic breaks and are no longer functional in society, or that take the ultimate sacrifice and commit suicide. So the next time somebody that's watching this, if you may think about harassing or bullying somebody, do you want to be responsible for them being locked up in a home for the rest of their lives or buried 6 feet under? And if you don't care, you need to go be evaluated yourself, because that's a psychopathic thinking, and you're going to be a danger to yourself and others. If you're already harassing and bullying people, you are harmful to yourself and others, and you just don't even know it. Because most people guilty of bullying don't see anything wrong with their actions. They can rationalize and justify their actions to be perfectly okay to them, while causing harm to everybody around them that is different. Life is about differences. Life is about change. And I like the Vulcan philosophy, infinite diversity and infinite possibilities. And if I believe that my universe has infinite possibilities and there should be infinite diversity, then there is no reason why I should be harassing another individual or bullying another individual. I would like to say that I never harassed anybody in my life. I would have to say I'm wrong. I harassed my sister, my baby sister, and she's still mad at me today for it, until my mom taught me that that was wrong. And I could comprehend it. She would say that it was wrong when I was 4 or 5. I think I probably actually comprehended it more when I hit puberty. And it started happening to me. And then I went, oh, and I quit picking on my sister. What happened to me over puberty that really sank in that bullying was wrong and harassment was wrong is we were stationed in the Philippines. And I fell in love with football. This is in 1979. Girls didn't play football. My mom signed the waivers and allowed me to do so. We were on Air Force Base, and I got to play football. Now, mind you, I will tell you right now, I played football until I graduated from high school. I was very good at it. When we came back to the States, and I started going back to a public school in the mid-'80s, or early 80s, excuse me, my mom had to inform the coaches about Title IX, and that they had to give me a chance to try out And I remember my junior high school coach, giving me the chance to try out just to shut my mom up. And everybody picking on me because I was a girl. They quit picking on me after I sacked the quarterback. I made junior varsity right off the bat for that, me and my junior high school, because I was a girl. They weren't going to start me in a higher team. They wanted to know what I knew. And after I sacked the quarterback 10 plays in a row during the varsity junior varsity game, my junior high coach put me on the varsity team. When I got to high school, again, Mom had to say to the coach, I got to try out. The guy put me on junior varsity. The coach from my junior high school went, "You're making a bad mistake." And after the first game, I was taken from the JV team and put on the varsity team. People that were not on my team gave me a lot of hard times about it. Also because I was involved with boxing and weightlifting. I liked masculine sports. I was into gaming, which was considered a boys' thing. I was into computers, which were still new. We're talking the early 80s. Computer programming was still a new thing in schools, in elementary schools, at least where I was at in Nebraska. I got picked on for being a computer geek. I made good grades. Got picked on for my grades. And nice thing though is, as I played football, I got older. My mom taught me to stand up for people. Is actually when I started doing some bullying myself, trying to stand up to the bullies. I would get some of my buddies on the team, and we would bully the bullies. And if one of my friends got duct taped to the bottom of a lunch desk, we'd find out who did it, and then we would duct tape the person that did it. We found out after getting attention that wasn't an appropriate response. Made us feel good, but it wasn't an appropriate response. We had to learn how to approach bullies and people who harassed other people in a constructive manner. And more how to be there and be a buffer and protect those people that didn't know how to protect themselves. That being said, and that little story is actually for a point, that those of us at cons have experienced bullying at one place or another. And many of us, as we get older, we decide that is no longer an acceptable part of life. If you are going to be a bully or harass me, I'm not going to have you in my life. And so when we go to some place that's safe, like a convention, if people bully us, we leave. People being bullied at conventions because of race, man, that boat sailed a long freaking time ago. If you don't like somebody because of the color of their skin, dude, there's no hope for you. Racism has no place in any con whatsoever. If you don't like somebody because of their gender choices, it's not your life, it's theirs. They can live it the way the frick they want to. And I said frick. Because I can't say the other word that I want to say. And if you don't like somebody because they're gay, straight, or bi, go get a life. Because as of this morning, the U.S. Supreme Court said same-sex marriage is legal across this country. I'm in a heterosexual marriage. I love my husband to death. But people should be allowed to marry whoever they choose. I have friends that agree with that opinion. I have friends that don't. And I value their opinion, and I allow them to have their own opinion, whether I agree with it or not. And very simply, this is now a null issue. You can accept it and move on, or just keep your mouth shut. Because people are allowed to love who they want to be. Now, I will say that some people that are harassed are because the people that are trying to give them criticism have no social skills. And it may not be harassment or bullying. It may just be a severe lack of social skills. I love cosplay. But since my accident and since I became a big lady, you will never catch me as a big fat lady in a wheelchair in a Sailor Moon costume. Nobody wants to see that because I'm too big. Okay? You will not see me in a Princess Leia costume, because I am too big. That being said, if you are a big woman or a big man, and you want to cosplay something in a skimpy costume, stop for a moment, look at yourself in the mirror, and saying, outside of my loved ones, who wants to see me in this? I don't even want to see me in that. Okay? I need to wear something that is more sensible to other people. And also, I have to remember that I do not want to mentally scar any young children. And at cons, you have young children. So please, please, pay attention to what you wear. And people won't bug you over it, if it's appropriate. Some people may get bugged, and they may consider harassment if somebody says, dude, you stink. When you go to a con, take a shower. They're not being mean on purpose. You are offending everybody because you didn't shower. Those things I don't consider harassment. Those things I consider somebody just not having a social skill, or you're not catching the hints, and somebody just says, dude, go take a shower, you stink. It happens. And some people need to be that direct.